What's up, Sparkman family? It's your boy Sparkman, and welcome back to another video. As you can hear, I am still under the weather, so I do apologize for that, as I may have trouble speaking at times, and I may cough here and there, so I do apologize. Hopefully that doesn't affect the video or affect you guys watching this video, but, we have a lot of things to talk about, right? You saw the thumbnail, are Yu-Gi-Oh players quitting? And honestly, I don't know if they really are, because I'm having a sense of a second thought to that, because I'm seeing a lot of players actually rejoin the game as well. Though we have players quitting, we have players rejoin the game. Older players, not new players like they just picked up the game, like older players that have touched the game before coming back. And there's a reason towards that because of a lot of the outside presence bringing them back. And we'll talk and touch upon that in a moment as we get through the video, but I wanted to do like a step-by-step process here as we talk about certain things, and I might go all over the place at some point in this video, so I apologize. And this will be a longer video than most videos I have actually recorded, so if you want to go get your popcorn and sit down and listen, we're going to talk about a lot of different things, but also it's a very dramatic situation we're going to be talking about, because honestly there's going to be a lot of bad things that is happening in the game that we're going to discuss right now that you may not like to hear, but also you may not agree with, and that's fine. You may disagree, and I would love to hear what you have to say. So first up on the docket we're talking about is the 25th anniversary tins dueling mirrors. Now, I've been talking about this product for a while, but I've been talking about products in general, not just the tins, but just products in general, about how they go about reprinting stuff or sets of the past. I'm not a fan of doing those things, but hey, the retro pack worked. I get it. Listen, you made me turn over and you leave for that one. That was pretty cool. However, I'm not going to be a fan of other things being reprinted moving forward. I just don't think it's the way. I think it's a nice nostalgic thing to have, to relive, to have that one time, but cut it off, right? We don't want to see older sets being reprinted like that. It's just not a really cool thing to do. Now, before I get to that, because like I said, I'm going to go all over the place, let's talk about the tins. For years now, I've been talking about the tins not being a great product, because of how they are managing and putting stuff into the tins as if it's accessible. And to people that always say, oh, Sparkman, you don't want things to get reprinted, you don't want people to get access to things. Listen, everybody, I'm not rich myself. My deck is full of budget cards because I can't afford to pay $100 SP Little Knight. I can't afford to pay 3 engravers at $300. I can't do that. I'm not rich. I'm really not. You see the banners in the back, you think, oh my gosh, he probably fully loaded. No, I get deals on certain things. I'm really appreciative to the community I have and to the stores around me sometimes that are actually willing to give me certain things for absolutely free sometimes. So I really appreciate, people willingness to actually help out others in the community. So a lot of times you see a lot of things I get, I'm usually either get a good deal, people are willing to be very nice and just hand me things, which, I expect nothing in return and for certain types of content I do for them, but sometimes they give stuff and I really do appreciate that. So a lot of times people think, oh, I can afford all these things. I cannot. So, when we look at the Dueling Mirrors tin, it's not really anything accessible. You're putting a 400 card set and you're expecting to pull a SP Little Knight. You're expecting to pull a Chaos Angel, the Crimson Dragon, all these expensive cards that, you really can't pull that easy. So, a lot of people think, oh, I'm crapping on the tins. I'm crapping on the tins for a certain reason. Because when we had promo cards, everybody, we actually were able to get access to the expensive stuff, right? To the Power of Duality at the time, right? I remember Power of Duality, when it first came out, it was like $100 card, right? When the tins came out, I think the following year or whatever, they put that as a promo card. Boom, people got access to it immediately, right? They bought 3 tins, 3 Power of Dualities, right? That's easy. That's accessible. Now, if we had older packs in the tins with the promo cards, you still get access to certain things in terms of the promo pack, whatever they decide to put in it, right? Like your SP Little Knight, or they put the other expensive cards, and then they have the older packs in there where you can pull a QC or we can pull something really cool, right? So you still have that access to open and get something cool, but also access to a promo pack where you're getting the more expensive cards you need immediately, right? So I'm for that. I think that's a great idea. You bring value to the tins, and you actually get stuff you need as a budget player like myself. So that's the way I see it. I think this is a better way of doing it. The mega tin is not a good way of sourcing or grabbing cards you need. It's really not. And people that tend to say, oh, I'll grab a tin because I'll pull the card I need, very likely you're not going to pull the card you need. You're probably going to go on TCG Player or on Instagram or on Twitter or on Discord or wherever you buy your cards, and you're just going to buy the single card instead of buying the tin. And most people might say, oh, Sparkman, what are you talking about? Listen, maybe you're the very minute person of not doing that, but most people here in the community, it's been years now, we know there's online state to a lot of cards that are accessed or available to them. They'd rather just buy the cards online. Now, with this tin, however, I actually don't see the cards going down that much in price. We've actually seen SPL9 go up in price in the past few weeks. So that's telling already that, hey, listen everybody, guess what? The SP Little Knights of the world, they're not going to be easy to pull. It's going to be very hard. It's a 400 card set. It's a very hard card to pull. It is. I don't care what anybody says. It's going to be a very hard card to pull. So, that price of that card will actually stay up in price, not go down. So, you being access to SPL Knight is going to be not really accessible. So, a lot of people like to argue with me that, oh, you don't like the tins because you don't like getting access to things. No, that's actually the reverse point I'm trying to make here. This year tins, it's actually too hard to get stuff. Last year's tin, it's still hard to get stuff, but the value of the tins just crushes just everything, and it doesn't work. The promo card that you got last year, that gave no value to the tins still. Because, one, it's not a card people are really wanting. It's a more collectible item versus a more meta card people are trying to get to build their deck. So, again, don't know where the fine-tuning in their head is going when they're creating a product, but it's certainly not for these things. Like, it's all over the place. If they didn't change how they went about creating products in the past, like your 2010s or the 2011s or 2012s of the world, when we had those tins, we would see success in the product market for these tins year after year after year. Instead, they're going about it in a more dumb fashion. Let's just be honest here. The Cali Effect just made a video saying how the tins are a scam, right? He made a video about it. And, a lot of people are opening their eyes, right? A lot of big content creators really speaking out on these things about product stuff, about ban lists, about all these different things. Yes, it's not good for the game. It's not good. This being one of the things that it's not good for the game, the tins, because they trick you thinking, oh, we're going to reprint a bunch of stuff and for you to get access to things. But guess what? Not really, because you can't get the card you really need. So, I don't know. Okay, so Retro Pack is actually one of the things where I did not like them doing, but I will say it was nice to have a nostalgic feel and blast from the past for opening these cards, seeing that nostalgic printing of the card. Sure, amazing. I appreciate that. I think what actually added value is because of these booster boxes that were very, very limited to stores, right? Only certain stores throughout the country got them. It's an only US thing, so it made this value of this booster box on release this expensive, and even will raise in price. This $250 is very cheap for this box. I'm gonna be honest with everybody. By next year, this probably will be above $400, like easy. Unless they decide to do a restock of this is gonna be above $400, easy. So, if very limited people got this, most people that got it actually just bought out the whole entire store. To be honest with you, I don't blame them. When you see something valuable like this, can I really blame that person? No, I really can't. Stores were only limited to I think 3 cases per store, so that's pretty crazy. Thanks to one of my friends on Instagram, they told me that basically the stores that got them, stores that bought consistently every single product ever that came out in Yu-Gi-Oh! For like the past few years, if they bought into every structure deck set, even if it was a garbage set, they bought into it, they actually got the cases. The stores that didn't buy consistently Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff did not get cases. So that's what I was hearing. Especially one of my friends on Instagram making me aware of that from one of the stores, making them aware of that. That's pretty cool. And not just him confirming that, but I had stores actually that had this box confirmed that as well. So I actually was something that I was like, okay, so this is actually a true thing. So, if you bought consistently, you were a loyal person to Konami, buying all their Yu-Gi-Oh product, you actually got this. So I will say props on Konami for this purpose, because they actually got a little reward for the stores for being a loyal customer to them. So I think that was a good thing. I will say, and I will always continue to say, reprinting sets like Live Destruction, like Retro Pack, like these things are not good long term, because then people get kind of scared. Collectors start to leave the game. People that like certain things in the game, they don't like to see things come back like that, because it kind of rubs them the wrong way. So I get it, so might as well not do it. Create another set, a new set name with the same card feel, card text, like you did with Retro Pack, but make it its own different set, right? Put in your favorite cards from 5Ds and GX and the Doom Monster era, right? Put in those cards, but make it a new set. Don't make it like a reprintable set. Have that old card feel, everything like that. Create like a new set name. New set name, whatever you want to do with there, and have people relive that nostalgic era with those old cards. That's my advice to Konami if they want to go about this route and direction, right? You want to relive the past? Do that route. Don't affect the players in the past that have collected your cards for many years, right? And those cards, people kept on actually messaging me about on Retro Pack, saying, oh, you have a bunch of Retro Pack cards, that's why you don't want. Actually, everybody, I don't even have a single card from Retro Pack. That's the funny thing. I was making that video because that's just my honest opinion. I'm not even a collector of Retro Pack. I have no cards from Retro Pack, which was really funny. A lot of people were getting on me saying, oh, you don't want them to reprint Retro Pack because it's going to diminish your value of your cards. Like, no, I don't have any Retro Pack cards, actually. That's the funny thing. Okay, another good thing that I will say that Konami does is Master Duel. I think Master Duel was a huge success and still is a huge success here in the Yu-Gi-Oh landscape. Now, with Master Duel, I think that we have a platform for esports, and someone that is actually an esports director like myself that actually recruits students for esports at a university. This is wonderful. This is a wonderful game, and it's a wonderful platform to recruit students to actually come and play at my university, which I will be doing this upcoming year. So if you are looking to play, in esports, in Master Duel competitively, I am looking for players to recruit for my university. So reach out to me if you are interested. Sparkman YouTube on Instagram if you are interested, by the way. Now, yeah, I think this is a great idea what they did here. I think this is great for the game, great for the community, great for older players, great for players that don't have locals around them, great for players that don't like to go into locals in general and deal with people. They just want to play online. So another aspect of where Yu-Gi-Oh is doing something correct and Konami is doing something correct. Then we move to something that they're not doing correct, right? So, marketing is a very funny thing with Konami, and I think I've touched upon this subject many times. Marketing needs to be a little bit better in the sense of it cannot be 50% you're doing a good job and 50% you're doing a bad job. And lately, that's been the case. 50% they do a good job, 50% they do a bad job. The problem with that is, if you're a small company, you can get away with it. You can get away with it because guess what? There's a lot of news, drama, and stuff going into your company, so people actually want to come and see what it's all about. When you're a bigger company, more established, having that 50-50 bad and good is actually pretty bad for your company, because then you have more people talking bad about your company, whereas the good is not really promoted as much. So that is the issue when you're a bigger company. Here's the thing. There has been 50% being bad, and guess what? That is being most seen here in the community. Not the good stuff, right? The good stuff gets overshadowed by the bad stuff, which is terrible. We don't want that, but it tends to happen. This is a bad thing you did. Creating these platinum things at the absurd price rate. I mean, the audacity to put this for $1,300 is beyond me. Like, it's so disrespectful, it's so distasteful, and it almost makes me just want to just yell at them, because it's just such a terrible decision. Like, it really is such a terrible decision that it makes me want to laugh. Like, how stupid can you be? Like, as someone that actually graduated as a marketing major at a university, which, you know, to be honest with you, everybody, I told everybody I'm a teacher now. But for someone that actually graduated as a marketing major initially, to see this, it's so nonsensical, stupid. Like, you would think a person that's in the marketing department that has probably a master's, right? I have an undergrad, probably has a master's degree that's working for their company, and you have like a whole team of marketing people to go out and put this for people to buy is just, I don't know where their mind was. I understand the company's built on a lot of greed and a lot of, like, why we call them co-money, but like, this was a terrible decision. Like, they made this one, they made the Blue Eyes one, they made the God Card one, they made the newest one, which, you know what, by all sense and purposes, was much more affordable with the Dark Magician Girl, but it's just like it has your head scratching, and I think most people did not buy the Dark Magician Girl one because of how terrible the marketing was for all these things, trying to convince people to pay $1,000 for these things. I think they actually would have sold a lot more Dark Magician Girls. The platinum one, which came out here, I'm gonna show you guys real quick for those that maybe not aware of this, but this they just came out with in July. $150, by the way, right? If they had done this, maybe at like a $200 for the Dark Magician and $200 for the Blue Eyes, I think you would have saw the Dark Magician Girl go crazy. I think you saw almost the whole entire community buying into this. Even the Dark Magician, even the Blue Eyes, like, they would have bought into it. The fact that they put it for that much made it so distasteful that people actually just, you should see some of the comments they said on Instagram. Like, it was bad. I said bad things too. I'm not even gonna front that this was terrible. Like, you there has to be some thought process and some thinking behind the marketing here, and there's not. I said it and I'll say it again. Whoever is in charge of the marketing team at Konami either needs to be fired, or they need a talking to in terms of reshaping how they think about selling products to our community. Realize we're not rich like that, or we're not willing to spend that much on certain things. You know, like, where is the mindset of this company thinking we can spend $1,000 like that, right? We have trouble buying cardboard. Keep in mind, everybody, cardboard for $100, right? We're talking about printing stuff that, like SP Little Night, that we can't even afford sometimes. So we need reprints to wait for a year to actually get the card. Where in the right mind do you think we can afford a Dark Magician $1,300 platinum limited edition thing, whatever you want to call it? How? The thought process, right? The marketing. Where is it? Where is it at times? Then you have the good stuff, right? This is a good thing. Now, people may say, oh, I don't even know who this is. Okay, first of all, maybe living under a rock, but this is Zayn. He's from One Direction. It's one of the big spans, I mean, maybe like 10 years ago, but hey, it's still Zayn. Like, if you don't know who Zayn is, that's actually kind of crazy. A very big pop sensation superstar that just actually was the guy behind Nocturne in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels, which was a really cool event they hosted. Props to them for hosting this. And listen, when you get celebrities and big people to do, like, promotion for your product, it's amazing, because then you have people that left the game, people that knew about Yu-Gi-Oh! But didn't really invest their time to learning about it. You have people interested in, okay, let me dig a little deeper into Yu-Gi-Oh! This is good stuff. This is what you need to do more of. This is the good marketing. This is the other 50%, which is good, which I applaud you for, right? Then you have situations like this that it literally just drops on your lap. That's a good thing, right? Noah Lyles did this by himself. This was no Konami Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing that they did a collab on. This was Noah Lyles doing a promotion for Yu-Gi-Oh! For absolutely free, right? Right? He took out the card from his chest while he was racing, showed the Blue Eyes, showed the, you know, the Exodia pieces on his dual disc. All cool stuff, right? All cool stuff. Won the race. even became a legend with even this Yu-Gi-Oh image here. That's just free marketing for Yu-Gi-Oh. That's just more eyes on the game itself. So stuff being dropped on your lap as well. So that like which is amazing. Which is absolutely amazing. You get more players into the game. But we talk about getting players into the game and good promotions, but then you have a promotion like this one, and then you don't put one of the promotional items that was available everywhere else in the world into the McDonald's Happy Meal. Like, why is Red Eyes not here? That doesn't make any sense to me, right? Like there's no reason for this not to be here. Now it's a very exclusive thing. People are going kind of crazy for it. I'm very happy with the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! McDonald's like collaborations, even though if you saw my previous video, McDonald's decided to not give me a McDonald's Yu-Gi-Oh! Happy Meal, which is thank you for that, McDonald's. But you know, a very weird thing they did by not including this. But on all intents and purposes, still a successful thing. However, you know, we talk about a lot of the bad things too, and the communication has been, I want to say, better, but then it gets to a point where it seems like it's better, and then they might as well not communicate with us, right? So, like, why communicate that there will be a late August ban list, right? Why communicate that with us? I told everybody, this video is everywhere right now, so I apologize if we're just ranting and moving on to different things. They told us we're going to have a late August ban list. And we're thinking in our head, okay, so probably like the 20th, 24th, 27th, right? Maybe around that time. No. August 31st, the last day of August. Why couldn't they just have said that? They could have just made it very clear. Hey everybody, we're going to do the ban list the last day of August. August 31st, 2024. No. They decided to communicate or give us a half-ass communication and saying we're doing it slated for late August. So you had everybody counting down the days, shifting their work days. By the way, shout out to Team Sakurasu. If I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize, my friend. He had to switch his work days, thinking that it would be during the weekday. I switched my work days. Fortunately, I got sick, so I called out of work anyways. And didn't come out during the weekday. It's coming out on Saturday, tomorrow, which I guess is today, that I'm posting this video. And yeah, I didn't understand the concept of that. It feels like they just shouldn't have said anything at all at that point. I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. It just seems communication is just not their strong suit. Honestly, communication with this company is really bad. And they can make it so easy on themselves to just hire someone to do communication for them. Like literally, once a week, communicate with the public. Very easy. Right? Don't make it hard on yourself. Just communicate with us what's happening. What's happening with the company? What's happening with the game? Give us updates. Give us your opinions. Talk to us. Anything at all. You know, take polls. Grab that feedback. Go in, make some changes. Better the game. Better the company. No. They are just doing free willy-nilly stuff. And I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. They give us this on the Master Duel live stream where people had to dig and find it. Look at my friend Hasha Friendship, the last day of the month, huh? I tell you, man, it's crazy. But yeah, they tell us literally when was the stream? It was yesterday, right? It was Thursday. I think this was Thursday. And they tell us Thursday that it will be on Saturday. Thanks. 2-day notice. Thank you. When you could have told us like literally last month instead of making this very hard on you. Right? I just want to visit something real quick because usually I don't go off track, but I actually want to go off track for a second. So just give me a second. Alright, everybody. So I've been pretty honest with a lot of things I've said, right? And I know a lot of times people are like, oh goodness, Spark, man, you shouldn't say that. But at the same time, I speak my mind. You get to understand where I'm coming from, why I think the way I think, and hey, if you don't like it, it is what it is, right? We all have our different opinions, but at least you hear from me my honest opinions. No bullshit, nothing. Like, you hear what it is. Now, I don't mean to diminish these two individuals, because I think, in all honesty, they're great guys, right? They're great guys. They're trying their hardest. But Boss, Konami, whoever's in charge of this casting team, they ain't it. I'm sorry. Now, maybe they need to just go back into the practice room and practice a little bit more and practice casting. But from someone that comes from esports and has casted games myself and have casted a lot of really big collegiate games and have seen other big events where I've heard other casters for other games cast, Boss, those people, they ain't it. Like, for our game, you need a little bit more lively action going on, especially for a card game that tends to be kind of drawn out sometimes. You need some liveliness in it. Like, there cannot be, okay, and this is a play, and this is a play, and oh my gosh, that's a play. Like, no. Like, I come from a game like League of Legends, where we have Captain Flowers casting a game, and you're like, literally like, in another friggin' universe. You don't understand what's going on. You just know a game's going on, but he just made it 10 times better. Like, you need a different caster and casters to make this game better. Better production, everybody. Like, literally, you need a better production, especially when you're revealing someone like Zane, and their reaction to revealing them is quite atrocious, to say the least, to be honest with you. It was bad. I'm going to be plain simple. They could have done a much better job with that reveal. They were just like, no. Come on. It needs to be a little bit better. Not the, no. I'm sorry. I just tell how it is, everybody. It needs to be better. The casting needs to be better. The overall just production team needs to be better. I know people don't like me saying certain things like that, but it's the truth. Like, it's the truth. The game survives on a lot of things, and a lot of things have to get better, and I'm just pointing a lot of things out. This is a really cool idea that Bearwalker had. Collab with Yu-Gi-Oh! And make a really cool board. Now, I'm a fan of this. I really am a fan of this board. I think it's really cool, a limited edition, a little bit of copycatting the Pokemon boards that they came out a year ago. And that's fine. Sometimes it's good to copycat other things out there that have done well, because it will do well for your game probably as well. It's good to steal marketing stuff. It's good to steal things that will actually be successful in your area as well. Right? You're the same TCG area. If something went well in another TCG, try copycatting it. Maybe it'll go well. They did that. This is going to be well received as well. People are going to want to collect this. You know, we have one of the boards right now on eBay going for $2,000. Right? And to be honest, it could go for more. Like, it technically could go for more. It's a very limited edition board. 1 out of 1 in the world. Very awesome, right? So these are things that are really good marketing and really good things that happen for the game, but sometimes aren't shown as much because we talk about the more negative stuff because there's so much negativity within this game. You know, the balance being one, the products being one, the cards being one, the cards not being reprinted enough, the cards not being reprinted too much. Like, there's no middle ground with certain things. There's just too much going on that's wrong right now in the game, that they're trying to throw their hat in a lot of different things, but also not focus on the core thing itself as well. Now, I'm all for doing these collabs. I'm all for doing other things, but you have to fix your core game. You have to fix your game, your players that want to play the game at a competitive level that you're putting on events for. And you have to fix that. I didn't even talk about prize pool, right? Prize pool. Prize pool is such a problem. When we've talked about this in previous videos, that has to be changed as well. You can't expect players to pay so much money for your cards, for your boxes, for your things, and then give them half-ass prizes. Like, what the... Like, I'm sorry. Like, I want to curse. I really do. I forget sometimes I have students that actually watch my videos. And, like, honestly, the prize pool situation, like, this shouldn't be even a conversation. This should be something that's just, like, brought up within the community. They listen, they hear it, fix. Like, fix it. It's not something that you should be doing year after year, and you hear the complaints, and you're just like, da-da-da-da-da, let me just, like, keep hearing the complaint. Like, fix it. You have the money. You can't tell me You don't have the money. It's a cardboard you're making. You're making a freaking cardboard. You tell me you're not profiting off this? Thousands, millions of players in the world playing your game, buying your stuff. You're not profiting off paper thin cardboard? Please. Like, who are we fooling? Who are we fooling? We need to be better. Right? And not we, the community. You. Yu-Gi-Oh! Konami. Komani needs to be better. You wouldn't have gotten that name. A lot of people wouldn't have hit that stigma of you guys calling you Komani if you did your job the right way. Do your job the right way. We won't call you out. You start making good strides, doing things to help the community. Better communication, better prize pool, better ban list, better game state, better at creating your products, better at not recreating the same rarity a little different, like a QCR to a Starlight Rare, a Collector Rare to a whatever the new Collector Rare is in the Rarity Collection. Don't do those things. Why? Why? For a little bit of greed? To get your players mad at you? Why? What's the sense? Why do it? It doesn't make any sense to me. You're hurting yourself. There's so many different things that are bad for the game, where the good stuff, like the Zane, like the Noah Lyles, like the collabs with McDonald's, like the collab like here with Bear Walker, with like the keyboard you had a few months ago with High Ground, I think that's the name of it. There's so many good stuff that could happen for the game. I have esports that I'm trying to promote here for your game Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like this gets overshadowed by those things. Like, I'm literally starting a collegiate team for Yu-Gi-Oh! To recruit students at the high school level and the college level that want to come and play this game and be competitive. But how can I convince those students to compete in your game competitively when the prize pool is garbage? Now, hey, people are still going to want to come and play, and by all means they should, because that's free scholarship money for them, and I'm giving them scholarship money to play Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's like a decentralized thing when you go to the actual event and the prizes there are not good prizes. So, the community helps out more than you help out. The locals give better pricing than you give better pricing. How is that possible? How? That should speak volumes. Raise awareness of a lot of bad things happening in your head and in the company, in the department. Where you have your biggest content creators like Ruxin, like Callie, like House of Champs, like myself. And I'm not big, by the way. I shouldn't even say I'm big. I'm not. I'm so small. But you have other big creators talking about your game being not so great. And you're just listening in and making no changes, no effort. You communicate with us about the ban list and then do a poor job in terms of that communication by saying late August, but not really clarifying it's the last day of August. Having us wait. Be more clear. Be better. Be a better company. Players will quit the game. Players are quitting the game. Yes, you have good stuff that can draw back players to the game, sure. But for how long are you going to use that for? How long will that work? It only works for so long, right? It only works for so long. You know, we want the community to succeed. We want players to join the game. We want new players to join the game. We want kids to want to join the game. They can't join if you make it impossible for them to join. And I say that because a lot of players that, you know, they go to shops, they talk about, oh, what game should I get into? I heard Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really, like, a really good game, right? If they go into the shop, you know what the shop owners sometimes say? Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a good game, but it's expensive. It's hard to learn. You know what game you should learn? You should learn One Piece. You should learn Pokemon. You should learn Magic the Gathering. You should learn all these other games besides Yu-Gi-Oh! It shouldn't be that difficult for a player to get into the game. Especially a younger player. Like, we want younger people in this game. Like, honestly, in all sense and purposes, it's good to have kids in this game. Kids are the future of the game. At some point, we all grow up, and yes, we are grown up to this point. I mean, but at the same time, we also have understanding that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not something that is a need, it's a want. Right? Like, we need food. We need to pay rent. After all those things, after all those responsibilities, if we have spare change left, then we buy Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. Kids, they don't really need anything. They only need is hoping that their parents have a roof over their head and gives them $5 to go buy a pack. Kids are the future. We were once the future of the game. We made the game what it is. That has to start from somewhere again. The kids have to come back and join the game too. Right? The reason why Pokemon succeeds year after year and there's always a new abundance of players is because it's an easy game to learn, but also an easy game to collect and love. Also, their prize pool is amazing. Like, have you seen their prize pool? So, there's a lot of things that just need to be fixed. And there's good stuff happening for the game. There is a lot of good stuff happening. But it does get overshadowed by the bad stuff. That's the unfortunate part about it. I think the Retro Pack thing was good. I think the Duel Merchants can be good. But they fail at certain things. The Duel Merchants is technically will not be a good product because of how inaccessible the things that we need to be accessible are in those tins. You know, I talked about the value of the tins. The actual value of the tins will actually be good this year, but the problem is it'll be too good where you can't actually afford the things you need. So, they overcompensated. You have to know where to meet in the middle ground, and they are not doing that effectively. Like, they're not. Effectively, they're not doing a good job. But yeah, that's about it, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know there's a lot to be talked about. I know I will hear a lot of different comments in the comment section. Trust me, I know. I know a lot of people will disagree. A lot of people will agree, and that's fine. We all have our different opinions, but I would love to hear what you have to say. And from your Shirley Sparkman, we'll catch you next one. Please subscribe and comment, and peace out, YouTube.